In this video, we're going to take our assembled small storage and we're going to turn it into a technical drawing that somebody could manufacture the product from. So we're going to go into a new area of Inventor. So a different set of interfaces, but if you follow the process, it'll all make sense. So we're going to go File, New, and this time we're coming down into our drawing section, and I'm going to choose a ANSI millimeter Inventor drawing. Click on that and create. So again, Inventor's going to just have process that. And create our format. Now I want this to be reasonably small instead of a massive great big drawing sheet. So I'm going to change my drawing sheet to an A4. Okay, so I right click on sheet 1 and I go edit sheet. And I change my size to A4. Make sure it's on landscape and we OK it. Alright, so that doesn't leave me much drawing surface because I've got this massive great big title block in here. For this, I'm going to delete the title block. So I'm going to just literally press delete there. I did that a little bit quickly. I'm going to just come back to that. There's my title block. Over on the left, I'm going to right click and delete. That gets rid of my title block. Alright, so I've now got a blank page and I'm going to bring in my drawings to that. I'm going to right click, bring in my base view, front view and side view. Now for this object, that's all we need. So I'm going to OK that. Okay, if it was a more complex object, you would either do more drawings or you'd show more on your sheet by having a different view. So at the moment I've got a side view and a front elevation, so I'm happy with that. That'll do me. I'll just look at my positioning. Now, what I'm going to do on my drawing, I'm going to add in some dimensions to show how big this storage unit is. Alright, so I do that by annotating. And if you look, you've got different views at the top. I'm going to annotate and I'm going to do dimensions. So it's a bit like when we did our first drawing dimensions. I'm going to annotate, but this time instead of it being a dimension that will change things, it's literally going to show how big something is. So I'm going to measure from the top to the bottom. That's going to be 1. So with my dimension tool, I click there, and I drag out. And just OK that. So that shows that it's 200 mil there. I'm then going to show how long it is, how wide it is. I'm going to click there, click there, and I'm going to drag out to place it. Okay. Now, annoyingly, do you remember I was saying in one of the previous videos that I've got a slight anomaly about how big something is? So that's showing as 199.13. Should really have been 200, but for this video, we'll leave it at that. Right. So I've now shown how wide it is, how tall it is. I'm going to just show another dimension, which is going to be the thickness of this top bit. Don't really need to show it there, but it means that I'm just confirming for us how big something is. And again, sorry I was talking, let me do this in one go. So with my dimension tool, click at the bottom, click at the top, and then drag out, and eventually I go click to place that dimension. So that's showing that it's 10 mil, and I can do a similar thing down at the bottom here. I can go click there, and place my dimension there, or I'm going to prefer to place it down here off the drawing. Okay, now I can afterwards edit where those lines are, but that again is absolutely fine. Right, now my next one, this will be interesting. This will tell me where maybe I've got a problem. I'm going to dimension my joints here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And you can see we've got an overlap. So there's some work to do later. Dimension tool. I'm going to click and drag for that edge. I'm going to choose that one. And I'm going to click there to place that dimension. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Click there, and click to place that dimension. And then finally I'm going to show the overall width. Click there, click there. Just get it lined up with that one so it looks good. And click to place that dimension. Okay, so we can now see that overall it's 60 wide with 20 that way and 28.82 that way. Okay, now what I wouldn't do on a drawing then would be to, unless it was different, I wouldn't dimension that section there. Okay, because we would assume that it was correct. Likewise, I wouldn't dimension that height because we've got that shown there. But if you're having a nice time dimensioning, you can, if you want, click there and click there. Apply your dimension. All right. Now, if I wanted to show on my technical drawing, I wanted to show another view which maybe shows it all put together, I can actually go right click. Oh, I'm just going to OK that. Right click and do a new view. Okay, so I can actually do, let's just choose that a second, base view. If I choose this one up here, if you look at what's happening, I'm projecting off to the right. Okay, and you can see a sort of preview box. So I'm going to click that and it's going to give me a 3D view. And I'm going to OK that. But that view, for whatever reason, I had an extra view there, an extra side. So what I did is I selected the box and I right clicked and went delete. And it says, do you want me to? Yes, please. Right. So now I'm left with my 3D view. Okay. Now I can click on that. And I can change the scale. At the moment it's too big. So if I do 1 to 4, you'll see it gives me a much smaller object. So that's now a scaled view that shows that product together. Right, so generally speaking, that's how you do a technical drawing. So have a go at that. A lot of it is about right click and placing view or retrieving a view there. Okay, so have a go at that. The next one we're going to do, we're going to just look at putting a shelf in a minute.